And up next, we will be talking to two guests who will help us understand better what does this visit of Prime Minister Modi to Maldives mean. We are joined in by Ambassador Anil Wadhwa, former senior diplomat, and we're joined in by Professor Sanjay Bhardwaj, School of International Studies, JNU. Both of them are joining us virtually. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us. First, I will come to you, Ambassador Wadhwa. Help us understand the timing of this visit, because we've seen how this visit is being seen as a medium to reset the relationship between Maldives and India. Just last year we saw there was friction in the ties. There were provocations, knee-jerk provocations, but still after that phased out, we've seen Prime Minister heading towards Maldives to participate, to attend the Independence Day celebrations as guest of honor there. According to you, what has brought in this turnaround in the relationship?
So, as you rightly said, there's been a turnaround in the relationship, which is quite significant and very prominent. And one can attribute it to two or three important factors. One is the patience and the steadfast foreign policy by India, taking into account the neighborhood's first policy, making sure that Maldives does not default on its payments, helping them out, continuing to help them out with infrastructure projects and whatever Maldives needs in this process. So when President Moiso came to power, we saw that he came to power on an anti-India plan. And thereafter, we had a period where there was turbulence in the relationship. But very quickly, that has turned around because of the fact that Maldives has come to realize that given the geography of Maldives and India, it's very important to have good relationships with a country like India, on which there are a number of dependencies. And India has been very humble and has shown qualities of perseverance over the years. So the last 1.5 years, it's not hesitated to help Maldives whenever it was needed, financially and otherwise, and has continued to extend all possible help and support in its endeavor to pay back its debts, etc., and to keep the economy steady. And now, once again, Maldives finds itself in a situation where the debt levels have risen to 130% of its GDP. I'm sure Maldives realizes that the country to rely upon in these situations is India. It has seen by experience over the past 1.5 years that it's not other countries who can come to its help and rescue when needed, but the dependency of India becomes prominent in that respect. Now, this is a very significant moment because obviously it's the 60th year of Maldivian independence, and to give the Prime Minister this honor of being the chief guest by a neighboring country in our very important neighborhood in the Indian Ocean is very, very significant indeed.
All right, I'll take that forward to Professor Bhardwaj. Professor Bhardwaj, this visit comes at a time when Maldives is celebrating its 60th Independence Day. At the same time, India and Maldives are observing or celebrating 60 years of diplomatic relationship. Help us understand, how has this relationship evolved over these 6 decades? We did see, various highs and lows in the relationship, but this is the moment for both the nations, which we assume will be resetting the relationship between the two countries. Help us understand how over these 6 decades the relationship between India and Maldives has evolved.
Thank you very much. First you can see both the countries, they had the colonial past, and from the colonial experience that both the countries, they are traveling to institutionalized democratic ethos. Though India has become democratic in 1947 itself, and we had been working and we had been promoting democracy in the neighborhood. Since Maldives had become independent in 1966, and they are celebrating the 60 years of their independence, we have also established diplomatic relations with Maldives in 1966. But you can see that it has reinstated, it has brought the democracy from 2008, while Nasheed has become the president of MDP and being elected by the Maldivian in 2008. From there, we have been constantly trying to institutionalize democratic ethos and values in Maldives. There had been excellent relations with Maldives. You can see that first President Abdul Gayoom, we had maintained very cordial, very constructive engagement, and later on that Nasheed has come, we had very good relations. But in between, the rise of China and the Chinese policies in South Asia, where they were trying to make its access in small states of South Asia, including Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives, and of course that building and investment in Pakistan. Somehow that new political constituents has been created in Maldives, and they started cultivating and doing anti-Indian politics. Like you can say, Yamin was there, and Yamin tried to bring the Chinese investment to balance the India's presence in this. And later this. Moiju also tried to use that India out instead of India first policy. They preferred the India out, but they know the hard truth that they cannot survive, they cannot live, they can prosper without India's constant unconditional support to Maldives. And you can see that this relationship between India and Maldives that has been now on the right track again after a short intervals by the Moizu and you can say Yamin. Now we have developed a very close, important partnership under two policy perspectives. One is, of course, the India's neighborhood first policy, and in this neighborhood first policy we had been very constructive, very non-reciprocal in our approach. We had been the first respondent to the neighboring countries if they are in crisis. There are the examples where Sri Lanka was in crisis, they were debt trapped, the Chinese investment has led the economic crisis in Sri Lanka. India had provided a very constructive, very timely help to Sri Lanka. The same manner that today also in Maldives there are a lot of challenges, a lot of problems regarding climate change. You can say about the tourism, because of the high exchange rates that the cost of tourism is very high in Maldives, and people are preferring other destinations. So India, they are looking forward to a constructive engagement with India. So under the neighborhood first policy, we try to cultivate good relations with Maldives. The second policy is of course the policy of Mahasagar, the mutual and holistic security and growth across the region that has been announced earlier. We had been working under the Sagar, now it is Mahasagar, and there Maldives is very important, being a island state, keeping the maritime security issues into mind, because a lot of energy trades that take place from the Arabian Sea to the Indian Ocean and then passes to the other world, from the Gulf countries to the Southeast Asian countries, including India. They are very the security of these trade routes are very important for India and for other countries. So Maldives constructive and positive and liberal secular system is very important, because we have also seen that Maldives had somehow the radicals, extremist, rightist wings has also become very strong, very in Maldivian politics, and they have been educated from Pakistan. There have been a number of Islamist groups had been started doing their activities in Maldives. That has been alarmed to the not only India but other communities, other countries also, that if this would go under the hands of the radicals, that would create a security threat to this Indian Ocean. So India's the first policy objective is to keep the security issues intact, that address the security concerns related to Maldives. And there are two security, like one is of course the internal security, where terrorism, fundamentalism and insurgency is one of the issue, and the second of course the presence of extra regional powers, what the extra regional powers like the Chinese are doing in these small states, that they are investing larger than their GDP size. And today, you will see that the current around 20% of GDP is current account deficit of Maldives, and that is also a concern to the Maldives. So India is very much concerns about the security issues and presence of extra-regional powers that is trying to destabilize this region politically and security-wise. So we are trying to engage the neighboring countries, including Maldives, very constructively, very inclusively, keeping different policy perspectives into the mind. The second very important aspect that we are also looking forward to have a political stability in Maldives. That the way the Maldivians have used anti-India and gestures, and that has
Yes, please continue.
that has provided a political instability in Maldives, and the way their ministers were responding and giving irresponsible statements. India being a unique partner, or having a unique relations with Maldives, we had responded very calmly. But the way the political stakeholders in Maldives has projected that Indian people has also become very furious about the issues, that we are the first providers, we are the first who are encouraging and developing their economic through tourism and from other capacity developmental projects like the trainings, like opening hospitals. Like we have been thoroughly, like you talk about the story. We have established Indira Gandhi Memorial Hospital. We have established Institute of Technology for Education. We have also established the Faculty of Tourism and Hospitality. We have also set up number of projects, the National College of Policy and Law Enforcement. So we are trying to increase the infrastructures and capacity build-up projects in Maldives, so that you can remain a very liberal, democratic, secular country, being a partner in the development rather than the obstacles and a threat to.
And that perhaps has helped in India's favor. We'll continue that discussion.